Greetings to all you tireless seekers of truth, and welcome back to Turkish series stars. The studio lights are warm, but the mood is electric, because today's story is as fragile as glass and as loud as thunder. We are stepping into one of the most heated controversies of the year, a whirlwind that has put a beloved couple's reputation and the conscience of the press on trial. The headline that jolted Turkey and spilled across Europe? Reports tying Gökberk Yıldırım to a dramatic police raid, with whispers dragging Cemre Arda into the storm by association. Before we unpack the chain of claims and counterclaims, remember that your support keeps this space courageous and independent. Subscribe so you don't miss what others won't tell you. Tap that like to fight misinformation, ring the bell, and if you believe in fearless storytelling, join our membership. Now, let's illuminate what truly unfolded. The entertainment world woke up to a revelation that seemed primed to become the scandal of the year. What started as a flurry of chaotic headlines quickly turned into a duel over facts. After days of feverish rumors painting a dire picture, the first official response from the couple's camp finally landed. The representative's message was not a whisper, but a drumbeat: the allegations are groundless. Issued over the weekend and carried across every platform, the statement took direct aim at the narratives that had run wild at the dawn of 2026. But rather than burying the story, the sharp denial inflamed curiosity about the real context and reopened the night's timeline in Istanbul like a mystery that refuses to close. It began with a large police operation at a bustling entertainment venue in the heart of Istanbul. Authorities described the sweep as focused on narcotics and public order. The raid instantly vaulted into headlines. As reports proliferated about the detentions of multiple attendees, a single claim detonated the media: that Gökberk Yıldırım had been swept up in the dragnet. Within hours, the shockwaves reached Italy and Spain, where he is admired for his discipline and magnetic on-screen presence, and it wasn't long before Cemre Arda's name was attached to the frenzy as the partner standing beside him through fire. In response, the first official statement from their side played like a precise counteroffensive. Their representative insisted that Gökberk had no connection whatsoever with any unlawful activity, underscoring that the narrative was illogical from the start. According to their version, his appearance at the venue had a purely professional basis, and what looked like scandal was the product of administrative confusion in the chaos of a large-scale raid. Behind the scenes, sources speaking to international outlets described an alibi that their team calls airtight. Gökberk was at the location for a pre-production session with European partners, discussing timelines and creative strategy work, not revelry. This flips the image completely. The so-called party scene morphs into an impromptu meeting room. And the defense isn't stopping at words. Those close to the representation office say lawyers immediately asked for full access to CCTV from inside and outside the venue, aiming to produce irrefutable footage confirming that he neither argued with officers nor engaged in drugs or any prohibited behavior. The plan, we are told, also includes collecting on-the-record witness statements to support that his demeanor was polite, cooperative, and focused on leaving once the operation escalated. The message's loudest chord is its insistence on unfounded accusations. Media strategists point out that using such definitive phrasing is a high-wire act, powerful, but potentially costly if any detail later contradicts it. Experts in image rights and crisis management agree the posture is uncompromising by design, a bet that communicates one thing: absolute confidence in innocence. In a world where ambiguity can destroy careers, certainty has its own logic. We pause and ask you, Turkish series stars family, did the press rush to conclusions? Is fame a permanent presumption of guilt, with proof of innocence demanded after the damage is done? We want to hear your take in the comments. And if you believe in due process and methodical investigation, consider pressing join to back our work. Another pivotal point stressed by the couple's team is full cooperation. Their narrative frames Gökberk as someone determined to help bring out the truth, not a figure dodging cameras or slipping away. A new element about the venue strengthens this framing. It's now alleged the establishment's license was irregular, and that this was unknown to the guests. In other words, a textbook case of wrong place, wrong time. Sources close to the couple say Gökberk has remained steady throughout, trusting that preliminary findings due in January will clear the fog. He reportedly spent late hours with a small crisis unit reviewing headlines, calm to the point of reassuring others around him. Cemre, ever composed in public and empathetic in private, has been at his side in spirit and strategy, reportedly acting as a voice of reason, reminding everyone that panic only feeds chaos. Meanwhile, Istanbul police are said to be analyzing their protocols, including whether the mass detentions were executed properly under the circumstances. This suggests the episode extends beyond celebrity gossip and into a debate about process, media pressure, and the collateral effects of large operations on recognizable faces. The moment the raid became a spectacle, nuance vanished. Now, nuance is fighting back. Focus has shifted from only the couple's public statement to a broader tactic being orchestrated quietly. Leaked chatter hints that Gökberk and Cemre's legal and communications teams see this not solely as an exercise in clearing their names, but as a necessary shield for their international arcs. European coverage, particularly in Italy and Spain, is under a microscope. We're told that legal notices are being drafted to challenge any outlet that claimed arrests or guilt without confirmation. Some foreign sites ran sensational lines before facts were verified, and that has sparked a sense, inside the defense, of a direct injury to honor. Italy's press appears split. On one side, voices who have followed Gökberk's career for years, noting his punctuality, his disciplined routine, and the couple's preference for focus over noise. On the other, columnists who framed the representative's statement as a robust refutation. Either way, the timing and tone of the weekend message reveal it was pitched not only to Turkey, but to a European audience that knows the couple's work and chemistry on and off screen. Another thread the defense is tugging at is disproportionate perception. They argue the presence of a famous face exaggerated the event's apparent scope. They claim he was never a target of the operation, and that officers on site encountered no resistance from him. Quite the contrary, say insiders. He allegedly offered to answer questions then and there to expedite clarity. The story about production schedules being halted? Unverified. In fact, several companies, we hear, are simply waiting for official results before making moves. That is precisely the outcome the team hoped for with their stay-calm message, to keep the industry from rushing to judgment. A source close to the couple confides that Gökberk views this as one of life's major tests but refuses to retreat into silence. He has reportedly said, "The truth will surface. I'm not hiding." Those words echo the stubbornness of someone who trusts what the evidence will show. And Cemre, with her balance of warmth and steel, is said to be reminding everyone that reputations are marathons, not sprints. One messy night cannot eclipse years of consistency. People who have worked with them describe a duo that is intentional, meticulous, and allergic to unnecessary drama. And so we stand on the edge of the next chapter. The public waits for the prosecution's official note and the test results expected to eliminate ambiguity. The day's unofficial headline, etched across social feeds and whispered in agency halls, is simple: a total defense. Everything now hinges on documentation and procedure. The couple's supporters are confident, their critics are cautious, and the undecided are holding their breath. This saga has become more than a late-night raid. It has ignited questions about how fast stories harden into verdicts, how social media can turn hypothesis into scarlet letters, and how a star's presence can distort the lens through which events are captured. The delicate seam between entertainment and justice has once again been pulled almost to breaking. If you've followed Gökberk, Yıldırım and Cemre, Arda, you know they are not reckless headline chasers. Their brand is built on diligence and steady progress. That's why the narrative of a chaotic party never fit easily with their public personas. The defense is betting that when the footage is reviewed, when the timeline is reconstructed, and when witnesses speak under their own names, the story will shrink from scandal to misunderstanding. Meanwhile, the couple's team is ready to take action against any platform that blurs the line between commentary and falsehood. Inside the industry, the reaction is measured. Some producers have placed projects on a temporary hold, not as punishment, but out of prudence. Others have doubled down on patience, citing past experiences where early outrage dissolved under scrutiny. For the couple, the most important audience right now is not executives or columnists, but the public that has accompanied them through roles, premieres, and quiet moments shared online. That bond is what they aim to protect. There is also a human dimension that gets lost in the noise. Behind every headline are families, friends, and teams who wake up to a wave of notifications and must decide whether to respond or remain silent. Those close to Cemre say she is a lighthouse, telling everyone to breathe, to focus, to respect the process. Her calm stance is not just loyalty, it is a strategy to balance the fiery pace of rumor with the slow march of verification. As we wait, attention returns to a single question: will this ordeal leave a scar or a lesson? Will the first months of 2026 mark the moment their bond was tested and proved unbreakable, or will it become a cautionary tale about how quickly a narrative can run away from the truth? The couple's legal path is assembling piece by piece. The next steps belong to the institutions whose role is to measure claims against evidence. This is where we leave the courtroom of public opinion and return to you. Do you think this experience will reshape how Gökberk deals with the press? Will Cemre's poised example change how couples in the spotlight manage crisis together? Share your predictions below. Your comments are part of the record of this moment. We close this special from Turkish series stars with a reminder: our commitment is to context, patience, and the presumption of innocence. If you appreciate that, give this video a like, subscribe to join our global circle, and share so that clarity travels farther than conjecture. And if you want to stand with independent storytelling, the join button is open. Until next time, may facts prevail over frenzy, and may those who seek the truth never tire.